action.
When you move into a studio, it's quite special to like make it yours, isn't it?
I was very excited to decorate.
It's like, well, what you're saying as well, it's like your second home.
Yeah.
So you want to make it. I've never had a studio. I always wonder what it must be like to.
Oh, well, like I said, the imposter syndrome I had was crazy because I was like, I'm not an artist. I shouldn't be here. But going to Nadine's studio for the month really kind of allowed me to practice like how I would use a studio space. And I was kind of like walking around like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And just writing loads and doing the magazine, and I brought in like a friend to help me edit, so that was good. So when I came in I wasn't as nervous, but I definitely did have big imposter syndrome, like I'm not an artist. But now that thought process is so strange to me because I'm like, well, I make stuff. What qualifies someone to be an artist?
Exactly. And what does your time look like in the studio? Are you computer? Are you reading? Are you
writing?
Journaling.
Yeah, editing. Like sat here and I ask Will a lot, who's over there. Like, what looks better? Does this page look good? Like, I ask him for a lot of help because he's an architect. So I'm constantly just kind of, because like I said, I hate graphics designing, but I end up doing a lot of it anyway.
I guess that's a benefit of being in a studio block rather than like a spare room or something, or in the garden shed. You can just go, oh, hey, Will, what would be really nice, or what do you think?
Yeah, and also having that shared space, because obviously in that one I was by myself.
Okay.
And I thought like, oh, if I get a studio, I want my own studio. But now I'm like, no, I think having a shared space is better because, well, for me anyway, for my teeny tiny practice, it makes me feel included.
Hey, it's not teeny.
Yeah.
It's definitely not teeny. But you were going to read something for me.
Yeah.
That would be really, really special if you could.
Yeah, if you wanted to hear my writing style is quite all over the place. I basically, because it's like, this is literally from my journal.
Amazing.
I didn't really edit it. Which one shall I read? Okay, I'll read this one. So it's called The Age of Aquarius, because I'm an Aquarius. It says, when death is inevitable, I think our only task is to live life fully and authentically. We were not created to sit quietly and not make any noise. If I am destined to leave this world, then whilst I'm here, I must make as much noise as possible, ruffle a few feathers, march to the beat of my own drum. I want to see a new world. I want to leave it brighter. I am a rebel with a cause. My one and only job and responsibility is to break down barriers and limitations within myself so that those who will come after me can walk right through them, just as I do after my ancestors and elders. I'm not here to keep my mouth shut and make everyone happy. My job is to hold the torch. I'm here to fight for equal rights for women. I'm here to see more young women bosses and creators owning their own things. I'm here to fight for black and brown lives, to make sure that we get our seats at the table. I'm here to say that our lives are just as worthy as everyone else's. I'm here to fight for love, to awaken the hearts of those around me so that we can do less damage to our children and their children, to be kinder to the animals and to each other, to protect Mother Earth whilst we still can, to promote love and unity. I've come to terms with the fact that I'm not meant to walk the path most popular. Others are already walking that one. I'm supposed to find my own way and open up the doors within myself, be the change I wish to see in the world, speak my truths, dare to stand up for what's right, even if nobody walks beside me at first. I know that generations to come later will be grateful for our collective work, just as I am for those who came before me, like Rosa Parks and Dr. Martin Luther King. Generations to come after will be happier and more liberated, and that's the aim. This is my new purpose, to be a light worker, a leader, to help create a new world. And that's from Khaya's journal.
Wow.
So yeah, that's my kind of writing style. It's very much like, when I write it, I don't intend for anyone to read it.
Yeah.
But then, because the magazines are so personal, I end up just exposing myself. And that's kind of why I don't want to make any more. So I'm like, enough of this vulnerability thing.
There was this one line, I'm not going to be able to find it now. Hang on, was this one?
Yeah.
I'm not able to find it.
What was
Oh yeah,
the
I've come to terms with the fact that I'm not meant to walk the path most popular.
Yeah.
And I think about that also in terms of what you were saying about being an artist and how this the path most popular would kind of speak to stereotypes of artists in their studios, or that artist is, if you're not making stuff for exhibitions, you know, you're not an artist. And
Yeah.
it's nice how you can now feel like you're inhabiting this space as an artist and kind of owning that.
Kind of.
You're definitely doing it.
It's kind of what we were saying earlier about even work ethic, and what we were saying about that in terms of like, I'm a bank worker. I work in a mental health crisis house, so I pick my shifts, but I work a lot, and then I'll come home and I'll do freelance and I'll do workshops and I'll work on music, and I'm like always doing things, but because I enjoy it. And that's how I enjoy spending my free time. But to other people, it's like, oh, you work, you know, why are you always working? But I'm like, no, like today, this isn't work. This is fun. Like,
super fun for me.
Yeah.
My boss was like, oh, make sure you get, you know, don't take that as holiday. This is part of your job. And I was like, well, it's also such a treat to come and meet artists and have a lovely lunch and get to hear, like, and have special, you know, really incredible time speaking to people.
Yeah, this is one of the first ones that I recorded, and it only has drums and nothing else yet.
I left my lover on Sunday. My ego told me walk away. My heart was like, no girl, please stay. But I was in a mood and shit, now we are through. We haven't spoken 20 days.